All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a beautiful broadcast with wonderful people on a great evening for the game closest to my heart, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tribes Ascend. This is the NATL Season 2 qualifiers for the Pro League. Thank you for joining us this evening. We have a staff of wonders assembled for you here. We have LB and Brick on your cameras tonight. Dodgepong will be on the production. Joining me for the cast will be Fishsticks, as well as the young Insight Master, David Bowie. Gentlemen, hello.
Howdy.
So we have a matchup here tonight between VeX and Epidemic. These two teams have traded back and forth on the TWL ladder for supremacy for what about the last 3 weeks now? It seems like it's been very, very back and forth. And tonight we will have VeX on Blood Eagle, Epidemic on Diamond Sword. Our maps will be Blue Shift, Arx Novena, and Canyon Crusade. David Bowie and Fishsticks, I'd like to get your thoughts on these two teams and what we may see tonight.
So basically, Epi is classically known for destacking, a lot of technician play, deployables, that sort of thing. With the new gym rules, they're not going to be able to use as many of those, but they say they've still got their strats worked out. They're still going to be able to do what they want to do and play a good, strong defensive game. VeX, on the other hand, is known for an all-out offensive strategy where they run very heavy offense, which is why these teams always have great games to cast when we watch them. As for who's going to win, it's hard to call. I did not put my Shaz Bucks on this one because I play my Shaz Bucks hardcore style. I go all in every time, and I was not sure on who was going to win this one.
Absolutely, and these two teams have been playing against each other, have actually faced off 4 or 5 or 6 times now in the last month or two, and the games go one way or the other, but they're always ridiculously close, and when I say ridiculously close, I really mean it. I'm talking third map every time, and often winning by a single cap. Often, one team will save the game for themselves by capping in the last moments of the map, forcing it to overtime, making for some really exciting games with a lot of flag play, a lot of action, and I'm excited to see how these teams do, especially on maps that we have not had a great chance to see yet. We're going to see Blue Shift first, Arx Novena second, and Canyon Crusade as the tiebreaker, and I'm really excited to see what strategies come out.
And we heard some little bit of let's say rivalry talk before the game, and not really thinking this one's going to go to 3 maps is what some of the players are telling us, which I hope leads to a very exciting and action-packed game here for you guys. If you want to get more information, guys, about the NA Tribes League or how to get involved with gambling those Shaz Bucks, you can always head over to http://natribes.com, and that will give you all of the information that you could possibly want. I do believe, however, we have some interviews prepared for you guys. Taking a look, it is Hot Rod Ree here that's going to be our first interview. Dodgepong, if you want to take that away, we would love to hear it.
All right, Hot Rod, tonight you're joining us representing VeX now, no longer ZFC. You're now a member of VeX, new star chaser for their team. How do you feel about the game tonight? How do you think you guys are going to do?
I'm so excited. Playing Epidemic. The reason I left ZFZ in the first place is we were not competing with Epidemic on the level that VeX was. I've got this beef with LL Blue Jay. VeX plays them weekly, plays them very close. I was like, I gotta get in on this action, guys. So I'm really pumped for tonight's game.
All right, so this shit is personal for you. And so last time, I guess there was a match a little while ago where you guys just barely lost to Epi. I don't think you were in that game, but Epi barely won on Arx Novena, and then I guess a couple nights ago, you guys barely won on the third map against Epi. Is it going to be close like that tonight, or with gym rules, new maps, or is it going to be different? How do you think the scores are going to turn out?
We are looking for 7-0, 7-0 in the first 2 maps.
Okay, and I know that's what Blitz said on Reddit. So he thinks, and you guys think that's because gym rules, or what?
Well, actually, that's what Blitz thinks, and he's brainwashed everybody else into thinking the same thing. So that's what I have to say.
All right, so you've been assimilated into that way of thinking.
I have contractual obligations that I will be benched if I do not say that. Sorry.
Okay, well, it's good that you're getting that message out there.
Edit that part out.
Now, how do you guys think you're going to handle, the changes in the rules? Are you going to run no HOF again? Are you going to, do you have some new crazy stuff for the new maps?
Are they going to be listening to this? Can I reveal that? I'll reveal it.
They won't hear it.
They're
not going to hear it, I don't think.
Okay, yeah. So what we're planning on doing, you're going to see a little bit of swing play. It's still going to be a 2D 5 O strat coming out of VeX. A lot of flag movement, but we're running a little different swing game. When we run swing in the coming maps, we're going to send a sniper on offense and drop another LD. So we're eventually at some point in this map going to run 2 Pathfinders on the stand, and then have an O sniper, and then 4 other offense.
Okay, so kind of what we saw you guys doing versus Mono. the other day.
It's exactly, but it tends to work a little bit better when with the new gym fight rules. So.
All right, cool, man. I am looking forward to it. And you got anything else you want to say to Epi before this game, or to the world at large?
No, I really hope that Epidemic gives us good games. A lot of people have been saying that they can't play these rules. They're pretty much Skynet. I hope that they're good games and that they kind of prove everybody wrong. And I hope that it's entertaining for the fans. It's a big night for us. We've been really looking forward to it. I hope everybody enjoys it.
All right, man. Thanks for
And
coming on.
yeah, get your popcorn ready. If I get to play a map, I'll give you a show.
All right, sounds good, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right, now we have Mortmain from Team Epidemic here. Mortmain, you guys have played a lot of matches versus VeX recently. They've kind of gone both ways. You barely won the one a couple times ago, and then VeX barely won the one a couple days ago. How are you guys feeling about the game tonight? Who's going to win?
Well, we've been practicing a lot on the new maps. I think that VeX is a really strong team, but we can definitely take it in 2, if not 3.
Okay, so you guys, you've put some good time in the maps. Have you come up with some strategies, specifically for those maps, or are you guys going to run kind of standard Epidemic style on them?
We're running variations on our normal style, I guess you could say. But I think you guys will see that we've got some really interesting stuff planned, especially for Blue Shift and CC.
Okay, cool. So do you guys think that those are going to be particularly strong maps for you? They're different. Some people don't like them. Some people like them. Do you think that they're going to play well into your style? And do you think that you would have more or less success than the quote unquote normal maps on these new ones?
I think that's going to depend entirely on how VeX is going to play the maps. The rule set's interesting. It's been a lot of fun playing NATL so far, and I think that we won't really know how to shake out until it's actually played.
Okay, so for people that are just joining in, the new rule set, there's a limit on the turrets. There's no mines. There's only one force field. These are things Epidemic's known for using a lot of those tools as part of their strategy. And there's some people that say, oh, Epidemic doesn't have a chance when they don't have these tools. But I've heard the Epi guys saying, we'll play any rule set. We're going to adapt. We're going to be fine. Do you guys feel like you're just as strong in this rule set?
I think we're strong because we have a good team of dudes that like playing with each other, that have interesting strats, that have, a lot of time to spend playing tribes, So I really think that no matter what the rule set, we definitely got a shot. And I think we practice enough with this rule set that we definitely have a chance to win.
All right, man, awesome. Well, Blitz posts on Reddit. He says it's going to be 7-0, 7-0. What do you think the score is going to be? How many maps is it going to go? What are the scores going to be like?
Let's just say that Shazbucks are going to show the real winners.
All right, man. That sounds good. Okay, so Mortmain, thanks for joining us, man, and good luck to Epi tonight. I know these are going to be great games.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thanks a lot.
All right, guys, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those interviews with Hot Rodri and Mortman. Guys, I want to get your thoughts real quick on a couple things that they said. From Hot Rod, what he was saying there is, giving away a little bit of the strat, but it sounds like, what do you think about the Sniper O in the swing here with 2 Pathfinder stand? It sounds like that's what they're going to transition into. 2 Path stand, an O Sniper, and 4 other offense. And why do you think this is particularly strong in the gym rules?
So, I saw them playing with a very similar strategy versus Mono the other day. It was a slightly different rule set, but what their idea behind it was, is they can get these conks on the stand, and the sniper can actually help destroy the enemy defense. It kind of was hard for them on Catabatic because the cappers were coming in blind. They weren't getting spotted, and so even though the Pathfinders were alive on the stand, they couldn't get the stop on the capper. The maps tonight, however, are a little more open, so it's going to be a lot easier to spot cappers, and I think that they may have some more success with that strategy. But it's definitely a different thing. It's not done very often, moving the sniper forward, and it's a little risky. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Absolutely, and Fish, I'd like to get your thoughts, more in the past of Tribes and Tribes as a whole as a game. Just give us your thoughts on an O Sniper in a competition game and what this means in terms of the Tao of Tribe and what do you think that is it going to put these? Is it going to put are we going to see one of these teams tilt over the O Sniper? Do you think? Do you think that's the Epidemic is going to be able to handle it?
Well, in the history of Tribes, sniping has been a very frowned upon thing. You're probably going to be shamed and shunned if you do such a atrocious, egregious act such as snipe. But this is Tribes Ascend. This is 2013, and honestly, I'm just excited to see new strategies, people trying to think outside of the box, and that's something we know VeX has been really they're pushing the envelope when it comes to these offensive strategies. So in this day and age, the modern day of Tribes, I'm actually excited to see what they can do with that snipe.
Excellent, sir. All right, guys, we are going to go ahead and go to a short break before we get into game number 1. It is going to be Blue Shift. Your teams are VeX versus Epidemic, and we will be right back. Thank you for waiting, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. This is going to be game number 1 between Epidemic and Vexillifer. We'll be referring to them as VeX. They will be the red team on your screen. That is the Blood Eagle team. The blue side is going to be Epidemic. The Diamond Sorters here. Our map is Blue Shift. This is Capture the Flag. And I am joined, of course, by Fishtix and David Bowie. Gentlemen, say hello.
Hi.
Hello.
And we will be getting to them in just a moment. But first, let us introduce the teams. I see we still have maybe one from VeX still coming in here. But we'll go down Epidemic's roster here first. The blue team, the Diamond Sorters, it is Moog, Trism GG, LL Blue Jay, Mystical Rush, Convict, Lion GG, and Source. Over here on VeX, we have Immune, Tasty Ham, Hydroxide, Gigabit, Guitar Guy, Duck Ranger, and they are missing Blitz, of course. Gentlemen, what do you think we're going to see here on Blue Shift?
So I've played VeX on this map last night, and I can tell you they're very good on this map. I don't know how Epi plays it yet. I imagine you could do some interesting stuff with D-Stack with the one force field that you get. But I know Tasty Ham's got a great route in here that's hard to see. Our snipers are having a lot of trouble spotting it. And VeX, of course, does run the very heavy offense. So I foresee the VeX guys getting out a lot. So the real question is going to be whether the Epi offense, which will probably only be 2 or 3 guys, are going to be able to get out on the other side versus the couple D that VeX does have over there. The other thing this map's cool for is that it's not too hard to actually grab the flag, walk off the front of the base, and just kind of disc jump your way home, punt it over the center mountain, break line of sight of the sniper, and you're home. So I think we're going to actually see some good cluster plays. If the sniper kills the capper, we're going to probably see someone just pick up the flag and walk it, and see some cool chasing and stuff going on.
Yeah, speaking of chasing, I know that Epidemic picked up Mystical Rush during the Combine that was held about 6 weeks ago, 2 months ago at this point. And he's their chaser. And, do you think that it comes down to him maybe on this map? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, he has a ridiculously powerful chain gun. He's one of the best chain guns in the game right now. I know our LO, when they go up against him, they say he shreds them faster than any other player they've ever gone up against. And that's pretty huge. I've seen him. He's great on the chase. He gets that LAR out, light assault rifle, and he just tears up the capper with it. I don't think that any one player is gonna make or break this game. Though these are both teams that play with a lot of team chemistry, and they rely on that to do well. You're gonna see VeX crashing super hard every time a flag gets out. All blasting downfield and Pathfinder trying to get that return, and they're very hard to cap on. Epidemic, you're going to see a very strong coordinated defense. But if you do want to look for some individual players, you're right, Mystical Rush from Epi is going to be fragging real hard. You're going to see on the VeX side, Blitz and Guitar Guy are always big playmakers on offense, and then Hot Rod in on defense if he's there. This guy's going to be making big plays.
So Fish, I know that we heard from Blitz before the game about infiltrator play, but it looks like we are underway. So take it away, Fishtix and David Bowie, ladies and gentlemen. NATL game number 1 of the finals: VeX versus Epidemic.
And here we go, as Blue Shift does come out to a start here. And again, this is a very new map to competition, so it's yet to be seen where the metagame will end up. Favoring on this map. Right now we see Lion GG and Trism GG moving together. Trism's actually taken that. Whoa, weird. He's into heavy armor moving forward. So, David, let's talk about these strategies moving forward and sort of what you expect to see in the early parts of the map.
Okay, so what I'm seeing right now is what ePi tends to do against the VeX D here. They're going to run 2 guys clearing, and they're going to have just Convict here running routes. And as you can see, he's already coming in. He's actually going to be hitting that flag in just a few seconds.
Yeah, Tasty Ham's already out here, Fishsticks. He's going to get picked up right away, but we saw Blitz crash that stand, and it looks like they still have a little bit of stand control here. Blitz just now going down. Look for that generator to go down. On the other side, a flag is out.
And wow, ePi, a very strong start here as Convict is out and relatively healthy. He's got over 500 health and moving quickly in the wings of the map, and it doesn't look like there's anyone from VeX anywhere near to his tail. In fact, I think this is a map that's going to really be hard to chase on.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be home free here unless he gets sniped out or chained. He's going to be landing into the base. Muga's there, Sources there. Guitar Guy has landed in that brute roll, but his shotgun is not going to be enough. The first cap will go for Epidemic.
Wow, and really making a statement there is Epidemic early on in the map, coming out with an early cap in a map, again, that we'd think almost would favor VeX. Again, as you mentioned, David Bowie, it's a map that it's really hard to catch line of sight of the cappers as they're coming in. And while Tasty Ham did get the first grab of the game, Epidemic gets the first cap in a pretty commanding fashion. You saw a couple Vexilifer guys there on the stand trying to make a play, trying to stop that cap. Unable to, though. And let's take a look as these teams set up for the next run.
Yeah, David, I'd like to get your thoughts on how that flag got home, and we saw that very high route. Is that what you expect to see here? It seems like Sniper LOS would be kind of hard to block on those very high returns.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised Immune didn't take him out because he is in Pathfinder, which does die much faster to the Sniper. I didn't see if they had another LO there killing him. I also kind of expected VeX to crash down there faster and get the stop, and they didn't. But I think in the future we're going to see that. They're kind of known for that. But as I say that, Convict's actually out again with the flag on the same route.
And interestingly enough, VeX has been able to own this ePi flag stand, even though there's a whole bunch of people on defense, but they weren't able to get the flag moving. So while they did have a lot of pressure, a lot of dominance over on the ePi flag stand, they weren't able to make a play. Now Convict is coming in, and it's VeX, Blitz, and Guitar Guy who are the lone guys here. Actually, Tasty Ham also coming from the wings, but will they be able to get the kill? Convict still with a lot of health. He's playing it safe. He's playing it slow with his team. He's not going straight in for the flag, instead opting for a little bit safer play, but here he comes. Where's Vexilifer? I don't see anyone here to stop the second cap of the game for ePi. Where are they? Oh, they're stuck in. They're in the flag stand. It is not going to be a stop, and we're already to 2-0 in just a couple of minutes here on Blue Shift.
Yeah, it looks like VeX is 2 for 2 there. ePi on their runs. Both times they've capped both attempts. And what I'm seeing happen there is that VeX isn't getting the flag out very far. They're dying on the stand, so they're not able to get the flag out. And their strategy of running this heavy offense absolutely relies on getting the flag out. If they don't get the flag out almost every time, they're going to be in trouble. And that's kind of what's happening. And they're crashing their guys down, which is good, but ePi's playing it real smart. They're just holding that flag in a bad place where it can't be picked up, and they wait till the very last possible second to return it. And that way all the VeX guys that are crashing downfield on the stand can't grab it and do an emergency grab or an E-grab and do what they call llama-ing it off the stand. And ePi's doing a really good job of preventing VeX from doing that.
David Bodie, I wanted to get your thoughts on, is VeX, are they trying to set up more of a cluster style and move this through the midfield? Because they've seemed to be very dedicated to the flag, but Convict is out once again here, low health. He's going to be sniped out just like that by Immune. But on the other side, we do have Taysam out with the flag, and it looks like the cluster style is not the thing. Fishsticks is out 1,400 health and 300 kilometers an hour as he moves through the midfield.
Rocking that soldier class indeed, and moving rather quickly, so I don't think Tasty Ham can be stopped. It's going to come down to a crash on this VeX stand. Here comes Blue Jay. Here comes Lion GG is actually trying to do some chain gunning in the midfield. He hits a couple shots, but not enough, as Tasty Ham comes in and finally puts, not finally, but in a relatively nice fashion, puts VeX on the board. It says this is not going to be a one-sided game. Again, when these two teams play, it always makes for exciting games with a lot of flag play. And that's what we're seeing exactly in the very beginning here of Blue Shift. But again, no standoffs. All of these flag caps have been relatively clean, stand to stand. Here comes Convict on another grab, but VeX is just clustered all over their stand, and that's going to result in a kill.
Yeah,
Bowie,
what you're seeing
let
there
me
is...
ask you something real quick. What do you think about 5 soldiers? Will you talk about that, please? On
Wow.
Vex, we have 5 soldiers, a path, and a sentinel.
So, okay, soldiers are actually pretty good now with the boost to impulse, and they're definitely one of the best fragging classes in the game. So that lets them get down there quickly. They can use these launchers on top of the base, they can blast down field, and they can just start killing everything. And then worst case scenario, they can pick up the flag and run with it. They're still pretty mobile, and that's great. And, you were asking earlier about, is this more cluster, or are they going to try to run the fast routes? And I think the Vex plan is they want to run the fast route, because if that gets out, it's really hard to stop. However, as a backup plan, say their capper gets sniped out, say, it gets stopped right away, then their plan is just walk it home. So they kind of want to do both, but I think that their number one plan is the high-speed route, just getting a massive clear off so that he gets out clean.
And again, just to call out what it looks like over on the Vex side of things, it's immune in the Sentinel class, sitting right on top of the base. Duck Ranger playing Chase/Home D right on the flag, and basically nothing else. So Vex, again, staying true to what they're known for, which is this O stack. Let's see how it works out, though. Again, they didn't even see Convict coming in, but Tasty Ham also has the Epi flag, so both flags in the stand and the potential Bart for our first standoff of the game.
Yeah, indeed, but we do have Immune taking out the capper just like that. Tasty Ham, however, is getting close to home. He's on his side of the map. Mystical Rush putting on the chase, as is Lion GG and Blue Jay. The crash is on. It looks like he's going to go for this high return yet again. He's going to be forced to land, it looks like, before he makes it home. But Lion GG has picked up the flag and got it off the stand. However, this may prove to be advantageous for Vex. If they get time return, no, he's going to get killed on the stand. Flag bouncing around. Immune trying to get the regrab out of the field. It's there. The time return is there. Crashing is... no, move not in time. And we have a 2-2 tie here with 18 minutes remaining in this game.
And oh my god, Blue Jay was almost a complete hero with just so close there to a mid-air return. But again, that's how the cookie crumbles in the game of Tribes Ascend and Tribes in general. So many plays come down to pixels, mere moments. It can cost you a cap and the game. So now it looks like we're moving to a relatively down period as both teams are sort of at their own bases, setting up their offenses, and it's odd to see so many Vex guys on the stand at once, but I'm sure they'll be heading out on the route soon. And again, if you take a look at Tasty Ham, the capper for Vex, his routes are just massive sweeping routes. He's going to the very edge of the out-of-bounds grid, and he's going to be coming in at over 300 kilometers an hour every single time. So that gives his team a lot of time to think about their approach. Again, they're not just rushing towards the flag stand. They're going to coordinate as best as they can with Tasty Ham here, and as I'm saying that, there's Guitar Guy, there's Kikabit trying to do some damage on this Epidemic flag stand, and in comes Tasty Ham with a front-to-side route. That's the first I've seen of that so far. Tasty Ham actually gets the flag untouched, but gets sniped on his way out. Now Mystical Rush is on his tail. It looks like there's a Shrike already in the air, relatively quick, just about 8 minutes into the game. But Tasty Ham is still pretty far from the base, and Convict's coming in. Let's take a look. No. Sniped out way early there, and Blitz has actually moved midfield to get the grab, and I like that move. Tasty Ham wasn't moving extremely quickly, so this is a chance to regrab, but no, the flag gets dropped or taken off the stand, and the Shrike comes in as well. So Vex will be able to hold on to this, but Trism GG now is the guy saving the cap here for Epi. I'm pretty sure he's calling for his team to pick him up because he's kind of in an awkward position here. He's going to be going very slow up this mountain, so yeah, here comes Lion GG for the flag pass. It will be tossed, but there is some pressure on Duck Ranger incoming. Lion GG will be able to hold on to this. What are you guys seeing, David? How's the standoff looking?
Well, you were called a couple times. It looked like it was going to be a standoff a couple times. Now I think we are definitely going to have our first standoff. They're basically, Epi's already setting up in standoff position. They got a lot of guys on D. Unless Blitz and Target can get this return right here, we are going to see our first standoff. And I'm curious to see whether Vex goes for a 4-0 or a 4D on this, because they're both viable standoff strats. It's going to be interesting to see which one they go with.
We are sitting at 15 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in this game, guys. Your blue team is Epidemic, and your red team is, of course, Vex. We are all tied at 2 flag caps apiece, and in a standoff situation. And if you're new to Tribes, that is when each team holds a flag. The flag must be at home to be returned. So what we're going to be looking for here is the light armored Pathfinders coming in, trying to crash that stand, use their impact nitrons to dislodge that flag. And we have perhaps some infiltrator play coming out. Of course, the invisible class able to take out these flags as well. Fish Sticks, it looks like Blue Jay's in a little bit of pressure from Guitar Guy, but he's going to be cleaned up. What are you seeing on the other side of the map?
Again, interesting with the new map to see how these teams elect to hold the flag on standoffs. It looks like the top of the base is where they're electing to do so. We don't see any turrets up for ePi yet, which is they're so well known for on these standoffs, but a ton of pressure on Trism GG. Blitz in the infiltrator class. Trism is now low, but so is Blitz, and that will be shut down for the moment. Tasty Ham all the way on the ground with the heavy armor, not going to be able to make it all the way up. I'm going to switch back over to the Blood Eagles side where VeX Gigabit holds onto the ePi flag stand, or flag rather. He looks relatively unopposed here as well. I don't actually see anyone from ePi moving out on the field yet, so again, this is pretty standard for ePi. In these flag standoff situations, they're very comfortable with just holding on to that flag, and you know, in some ways you think, how are they going to get the flag home? How are they going to convert this into caps? It doesn't, on the surface, seem like the smartest of ideas, but it's worked so well for them in the past.
And I saw something interesting. I actually saw VeX getting turrets up on defense there.
Blitz gets the return. Here we go. Hydroxide trying to make a play. The flag thrown off the stand, but this will surely be a cap as it's returned. And now VeX comes up down 2-0 right in the beginning of the map, and now for the first time they lead with 13 minutes and 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, you know, Blitz has told me about his strats before, and you know, they don't really worry that much if they lose a couple caps. They actually expect it. They know they're running light defense. They know their flag's going to be getting out. They know sometimes the other team's going to get a stop against their heavy O, and they kind of expect to lose a couple caps here and there. Now, you know, I know Blitz talked 7-0, 7-0, but I don't think anyone really thought that was going to happen. But you know, what you can see with VeX a lot of times is once they get rolling, they are hard to stop. And you've seen them just rattle off 3 caps there in just a matter of minutes.
I think Blitz, before every time he's faced ePi, says the exact same thing. We're trying to make a statement. We want to win this in 2 maps. I think he usually says 7-0, 7-0. So I appreciate the smack talk. I appreciate trying to build the hype. But let's be honest, that's not going to happen with VeX very often, especially against essentially their rivals in the game of Tribes Ascend ePi. I'm watching as Tasty Ham comes in on a route, moving pretty quickly, just about 300, but none of his friends were there to clear the stand. There's almost a full ePi flag stand, but Tasty Ham nonetheless is making it out with just a sliver of health. So let's see if we can see a little bit of coordination on the VeX side. Let's see if Tasty Ham can pass it off somewhere in the midfield, or if he can make it all the way home. Gigabit looks like he's moving to the midfield to try to get this midfield pickup. There's also a Shrike in the air, but now I'm going to take a look over at the VeX. The flag has finally been returned, and now Tasty Ham passes it off. Trism GG, or sorry, Muji in the middle of the field here, but he goes down quickly, so now Epidemic has got to hold on to this flag.
Yeah, he has the strike support in the air there, just picked up by Tasty Ham, very, very low on health. But you know, looks like we will be setting up for another standoff situation as Trism GG has it off. Duck Ranger on his tail. He's going to get that frag. It's bouncing around here. Will he hold it for the timed return? It looks like he will. There it is home, and it looks like this is going to be a not very heavily contested cap. LL Blue Jay crushing. Here comes Moog. Here comes Mystical Rush as well. So as I say that, they start to reinforce. They're going to clean up one as he comes in. I imagine Mystical Rush, yes, he's going to get taken out. We have the strike support here as well. Moog's going to get that on that front row. Going out the side. The flag is down, however, knocked off by Duck Ranger. The blue flag has been tossed up here now. VeX trying to resecure it on their stand. That strike coming in, playing a very, very nice support role. Gigabit just simply has to get this home. Convict coming in through the side. He's not going to get there before the cap, but will they stop him on his own route, Fish Sticks, as he comes across the flag? Now it's out on the other side.
Blitz pulling off a llama here. He's not moving quickly at all, but again, Blitz is known for these sort of unpredictable, unorthodox plays, and they tend to work more often than not, although not this time, as the flag does go down in the midfield. You know, when I was first checking out this map, it seemed like it might be a little bit too big for competition. It might be, the routes might be too fast to chase, but that's not at all what we're seeing right now. The map actually seems to be relatively balanced with a whole lot of flag play in the middle. Bowie, you've had a little bit of experience to play on the map. How do you think VeX has been able to turn this around and get 4 caps in a row?
Well, I think it's a matter of that their offense is actually getting enough clearer for Tasty to get out. And then on the other side, their D is making stops. You know, it's really hard to play D with just a couple guys. You know, they have no heavy on flag or Hoff. They have, you know, it's really just down to they have to spot the capper and get some good snipes on him or get a Conquernate on the stand. And they've been able to get a couple stops. And also some great chases. Duck Ranger got 2 returns there. You know, otherwise it kind of would have gotten into standoff. So definitely making some plays. And that's a lot of what this game will come down to at the highest level is who makes more sweet plays.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what we're here to witness, those sweet, sweet plays. Let's see some MAs, let's see some blue plates, let's see some flag passing as we move into the second half, or the end of Blue Shift, I should say. And now, VeX with a pretty comfortable 2-cap lead. Another question to you, David. Do they opt in this position to go to D-stack? And I've said this multiple times while watching VeX play, and I'm actually going to stop talking as Tasty Ham is now out with the flag, and that will go down quickly. But again, we're not seeing VeX decide to do a D-stack in any way, shape, or form. They're pretty comfortable.
Yeah, they don't do it. So, this isn't just a game about, winning this match of the tournament. This is like a philosophical battle here. Blitz believes very firmly that Tribes is meant to be played heavy offense. Epi, on the other hand, they feel that heavy D is the best strategy. And I think a lot of the guys on VeX would like to see it change so that the dominant strategy is actually running heavy offense. And they're trying to prove that point. And so, as a result, they won't run a heavy D, even if they're up, unless it's like the last 30 seconds of a game or something, they're always going to run more O.
We do have Trism out here, though. He has some nice speed as he moves back towards his base, 330 kilometers an hour. The crash is out. Duck Ranger, Gigabit, the closest blitz coming in as well in that heavy class. It is going to be the Brute crashing the stand. Trism GG coming up over the chasm. The defense going out to meet him, going for that mid-air pickup. If it is bouncing, it's going on the stand. Bounces past the flag, picked up by Moog, and he is trying to get it in, being bounced around by these discs coming in. He's going to get that cap, though. And we are looking at now the 3-4 for Epidemic. But Tasty Ham's got this flag on the other side, Fish.
Absolute victory there for getting another cap on the board. Now they're just 1 cap away. However, Tasty Ham is out without a chaser in sight, so the pressure is now on Epidemic. With 8 minutes left, that's not all that much time, especially if they might be down 2 caps here in just a second. So where is Epidemic? I don't see them. They're not going to be able to crash in time. Convict is the only one. Can he get the flag off the stand? No, he is shut down, and that will be the 5th cap for VeX. Again, 7 caps will end the map, so now it's actually VeX that could cap out here, but Epidemic is not going to go down without a fight. Let's see what they can do. We've seen their players in clutch situations just making amazing plays. Guys like Trism, guys like Lion GG, guys like Blue Jay just have a knack for being clutch.
Yeah, the thing that I am starting to see, like you said, it's really hard. If the capper gets out fast enough, it's hard to beat him from your base to the stand. You kind of already have to have some guys there, and that's just not happening right now. VeX's crash seems a little better than Epi's at this point. Every time the Epi guys are out, you see all the VeX guys getting downfield, and they might not still get there in time, but they almost do. Whereas on the Epi side, they just don't have that same level of crash, and they're getting there much later. And so I think that that's something that's going to work in VeX's favor. They might just get a couple extra returns that the Epi guys don't get.
And taking a look quickly at the kills here, I've seen a lot of damage. Okay, it's Convict with the flag. He's got a sliver of health, though. Is there anyone to chase? Again, this map seems like it's very, very difficult to chase, but it's also difficult to get out of the off the flag stand with enough health to really make it home. Snipes are whizzing by. Can Immune hit the shot? No. Line of sight is broken, and now Convict is coming home, trying to get the 4th cap for his team, narrowing the deficit just down to 1. In comes some bullets, but not enough, and I'm not talking about blitz bullets, and there's the 4th cap for Epidemic, and we're getting, again, going down to the wire here. These two teams have a crazy history of whenever they face each other, it's going to be close games.
Something interesting I'm seeing here. So I just kind of noticed the roster. So they don't have Implosions, who's normally on their team for this tournament. He hasn't been playing with them. But they also have 2 other fantastic chasers on their team, Thomasar and Hot Rod Ree. Neither of them is in this game. And I think if they were in the game, you actually would be seeing more chasing. That last cap, Convict was out at only 220 in Pathfinder. I think Hot Rod would have caught that route. Thomasar would have caught that route, and they would have gotten that return. So I'm actually a little curious as to why VeX isn't running one of their great chasers that they have right now.
Again, yeah, me as well. A little bit surprised. We saw Implosion doing so much work in the previous times that Epidemic and VeX have faced off. So I'm a little surprised not to see him in here right now, to be honest. Taking a look over at the VeX stand, Guitar Guy, Duck Ranger, Gigabit, Immune, all at home right now as Convict does come in. But no, Convict actually takes everyone's attention away from Trism GG, who actually has the flag now, going 350 kilometers an hour. This map actually, it feels a lot, the terrain to me feels like old Tribes maps, and in comes Trism GG. He certainly should be able to pass off to a teammate here, but there is a lot of pressure. Gigabit and Duck Ranger close on the heels. Convict, though, will receive this flag, I believe. No, Gigabit actually disc the flag, but unable to get the return, and now it looks like we're moving on to another standoff here on Blue Shift.
Yeah,
This
Tasty
standoff's
Ham
gonna
got
be
this
huge.
back outrunning the Shrike. Sorry, David, take it away, man.
Oh, I
Let
was
us
just
hear
gonna
your
say,
thoughts.
yeah, this standoff's gonna be really big. You know, we've only got 4.5 minutes left. If VeX wins it, you know, they're up, you know, with 1 cap to go for the end of the game. If ePi wins it, then it's a tie game, you know, and it's gonna be real close. But if the standoff lasts a long time, if both teams kind of D up, you know, whoever wins the standoff may win the game. So this is gonna be real big to see what ends up happening here.
Let me ask you, David, does a like defensive situation like this where VeX basically has to attack into Epidemic to get this flag to try to tie it up, does that favor them in their defensive play style, or do you think that with VeX needing to play to their offense that they have maybe the advantage here in the standoff?
Well, a lot of people think, you know, a lot of the VeX guys, Blitz among them, that it's always better to just run a heavy offense no matter what. It's better to just, in that way, you know, you've got more presence with their base. Even if they do return the flag, you just grab it and walk again. But, you know, I will say that ePi kind of wants that to happen. They base their whole strat around having a bunch of people coming at them and learning how to shut down a coordinated push. So they're very good at it. So, you know, I can't really say which would be better here. And I think that it's kind of based on the map. This map's a little hard to get up to the stand. You know, you lose your energy doing it. So it's pretty hard to actually attack into the stand on a standoff. It's not one where you can just get easy returns every time.
The one big difference for these two teams right now is that ePi actually has a Shrike in the air. Can that do the work? Yes, it can, and here's a return. Almost the chance to... Oh my god, I think that was Guitar Guy with the return. Wow, Epidemic was hairs away from tying it up in the last minutes of Blue Shift, but that clutch play, man, if you follow Reddit/r/tribes, you probably saw Guitar Guy's montage that he put together you know, a week or two ago that just goes to show you in one single match how many clutch plays a single player can have. And there you go, Guitar Guy saving the cap and potentially is securing the win here for his team.
Yeah, and that's something interesting to note. You know, if you look at the scoreboard, Guitar Guy's the last guy on the scoreboard. That doesn't mean that he is doing the least work for the team. Actually, Guitar Guy's usually one of the most effective players on VeX. He makes some of the biggest plays. But it's not always about the kills, you know, it's not always about the stuff you get points for. It's just about making the plays when they need to happen. You know, it's great to kill, but you gotta kill when it matters. And Guitar Guy just makes plays when he needs to.
Comic's going to get a free shot at the stand here. He's taking no damage on the way in. There is the midair in the start just before it. As I say that,
Trism
I'm going to get
GG.
close, and it's going to be enough to get Trism GG out here. 900 health remaining, ladies and gentlemen. 350 kilometers an hour through the midfield. He's running a bit low on his energy. He's going to hit the bowl and start to turn. Blitz is crashing in Pathfinder, as is Duck Ranger. You see those Pathfinders coming out. They really are trying to crash this one in instead of going for more of that defensive style with the heavier armor classes trying to get their Trism coming in, falling in towards the flag stand, and that is going to be a tied game with 2 minutes remaining, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we see if the teams will continue their offensive streak here for VeX, but the flag is out again for Tasty Ham, unfortunately not going to get very far, or if we will see them turtle up and take this to overtime.
Again, gonna call out Blue Jay in that Shrike, doing a ton of work, but you know, the Shrike has a lot of intangibles to it. It does a lot to just distract the enemy defense. When there's a Shrike out there, you gotta be worried for Shrike frames. You gotta be worried that they might take you out at any second before the capper comes in. So it's just doing a ton of distraction, and now we see Epidemic using their robots, using the force field. They've got the generator up, they've got a Shrike up, and they've got this force field up. So their defense is looking stronger than ever as we go into the last minute here.
Also with the Shrike to their advantage here. Only 70 seconds remaining here, ladies and gentlemen. 5-5. David Bowie, what are you doing if you're in this situation? Are you trying to crash this and get that flag out immediately and try to end this before it goes to overtime, or are we looking to set up for a more conservative play?
I think ePi's going to keep doing what they're doing, because what they've done is they switched to a double capper, and it's worked here a couple times in a row. Trism turns out, you know, Convict's not the only capper. Trism's been running these routes that are turning at almost 400 speed, and what's been happening is that Convict comes in, they stop him, and then Trism gets out clean, and they've gotten 2 caps that way. So I think they're going to keep trying that.
And now it's Tasty Ham with a pretty quick grab, going over 300 kilometers an hour. No chasers in sight. So again, it's going to come down to this crash. Can ePi pull their offense together, make a coordinated play? But actually, no, I spoke too soon. It looks like Mystical Rush and Trism GG are actually in range to try to get some chain bullets. Blue Jay also in the Shrike chasing, but he's not moving quick enough. Just with under 20 seconds to go, we could see a cap. Oh no, the return!
Oh, it was
You've
Convict's,
gotta be kidding me!
Convict's clear grenade there as he was coming in. I'm not even sure if he could see that Capper did pick him up, but before we can talk about that, Trism GG is out again, 240 health remaining though, and he doesn't have a lot of speed, only about 180 kilometers, and he is going to be forced to drop this in the field as Lion GG is coming in. Did he get the placement as we move into overtime? No, he's going to miss that. Kickabit going to get the return, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 10-minute overtime that we have here between Epidemic and VeX.
Yeah, that could have been the game right there. I mean, if VeX had gotten that cap, it was probably over. So there's like 20 seconds left on the clock. Amazing play by Convict there.
Awesome stuff, guys. Really, really. There's no reason to expect anything other than games that come down to the last couple of seconds. Caps that could have happened, that could have sealed the deal, shut down right before the defender's eyes. Awesome stuff by our, I think that was all Convicts, so he's going to be feeling really, really good about that as we move into overtime here, and I'm sure his team is as well.
Yeah, this time it's pretty much golden goal. You know, next team that gets cap wins.
Yeah, good shout out there, David Bowie. For those of you that are tuning in and aren't familiar with the rules, it is indeed golden goal, as he said, so the next cap will win this. We are going to see the flag out, though, for Tacey. He has full health. He's going to get sniped once, sitting at 376 health remaining. He is in a Pathfinder kit, so he's very, very low on armor in general. But here, 250 kilometers an hour as he is moving out. The chase is on Mystical Rush and Source. Blue Jay as well, crashing. Blitz going out to meet him and maybe try to frag some of these chasers as they come in. Convict and Blue Jay have abandoned any hopes of route running and are coming in as well. Trism, where is he? I haven't spotted him. He looks like he's going to try actually set up a route, but they have to get this crash in time. It's not going to happen. Tasty Ham takes it for VeX Silver. Game 1 goes to the red team of Blood Eagle. David Bowie, what got that flag home?
Tasty Ham, you know, he's just was able to get out pretty clean with the route, and if you don't see the capper coming, he gets out clean. Often you've only got time to make one snipe before they break line of sight, especially with these gym rules. You know, there's no snipers in the past have used these this perk called Rage and the laser rifle, and they just get a couple free shots, you know, no matter what their current energy was, and they can put massive damage on a capper and usually just kill a Pathfinder outright in about 2 seconds. But you know, without that perk, you basically get one shot at the capper there, and they didn't. You know, he wasn't able to get the kill on the capper, and they weren't able to get their chase down in time. So I think that, you know, Tasty's sneaky route pretty much just got that point for him.
And Fishsticks, what should we expect, you think, for map number 2, which I believe is going to be Arx Novena?
This is a map that there's a bit of history between these two teams on Arx Novena. I believe the last few times they played, this was one of the maps that actually that changed. You know, one time Epidemic won it, one time it was actually VeX who ended up coming out with the win. So it's hard to say if this map favors one team over the other, and in fact, I don't think it really does at all. So I'm expecting, again, just to see some pretty awesome, pretty close games with a lot of clutch flag play happening in the last moments. That's what we can hope, at least.
Yeah, no, this is a map that both of these teams love. VeX considers it to be one of their probably top 2, if not their strongest map, and it definitely favors their style of play because it's a great map. There's a nice hill right in front of the stand, so any of the offense players, or often we call them LO, can just grab the flag and just start skiing down the hill. So even if their capper gets sniped out, it's not a problem for them, and so they love this map. At the same time, Epi finds this to be a pretty defensible map. The routes can only come from a couple directions. The sniper can usually see pretty much the whole map, so you can see the cappers coming, and they can just put bodies and deployables and everything to block all the angles of approach that the cappers can come through. So both of the teams really love this map. They both tend to pick it when they're challenged on TWL or in other tournaments. So I think, you know, we're going to see a great game on Arx just like we did last time.
And to kind of the point of that, there is a limited amount of routes that really get out that fast here on Arx. I mean, you do see a little bit of variation. Like sometimes you'll see them come up, you know, really high, kind of an over-the-top route from the back, or you'll see even like sometimes some weird bounce routes coming up over the corner of the base and careening off through the aqueduct. But what do you think that hurts VeX in particular? Like I know Tasty Ham is kind of known for his repertoire, if you will, of routes. You know, having him more contained, do you think this plays to Epidemic or vice versa?
Well, definitely, you know, Tasty is going to be most dominant on a map like Katabatic, where it's a lot harder to spot the cappers. That means he can run a variety of crazy routes. They're not going to know which one's coming. This map, you know, it doesn't matter how crazy you want to get. If the sniper's doing his job right, you're going to be able to spot the capper.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the first map did go to VeX. We're going to be jumping onto the second map in this best of 3, so if VeX is able to win it, they clutch first in the NA Tribes League qualifiers. Again, this is a qualifier for the league that will be starting up basically as soon as this is done. And these teams are playing for seeding points right now. The top 5 teams in the tournament move on to the NA Tribes League, and seeding actually is pretty important as you'll have a much better chance at progressing if you don't have to play the best teams first. So there's no money or cash or glory on the line that I know of. Maybe there's some Tribes Gold, Bart. But yeah, that's what these guys are playing for, and that's what we're here to watch, along with the MAs and the flag passes.
So actually there is money in the upcoming tournament. So, if this match does give advantage to one team, then, maybe it does put them a little bit closer to getting some of that $2,500 prize that will be in the Pro League tournament coming up. But this basically, as you say, this is pretty much determining who's 4 and 5. Top seeds right now are Mono at number 1, Egocentric at number 2, and ZFC at number 3. So this is going to pretty much determine which groups these 2 guys end up in. And so whoever finishes higher is going to basically get a better group.
So guys, we are over in the NATL server 2. If you didn't catch that.
Did not catch that.
Okay, I still think you're really awesome. Also, I wanted to point out, on this map, I gotta say, I'm gonna agree with Hi-Res Kate. Gotta go for Epi here because I want to see Canyon Crusade be played. What do you guys think about Canyon Crusade, and what do you think these teams bring to a map like that?
So I love it. I think it's great. It's my favorite of the new maps. I think of all the 3 new ones. Just because I got a little bias because I'm a capper and I like there being a map where I don't just get sniped out all day long. Bella, it's really easy to get sniped out. But Canyon Crusade, I think, is a lot of fun. It's very offense heavy. It's hard to defend because you got these big hills around. Anyone can kind of slide down and grab it and go. So you see a lot of flag movement and a lot of chasing, which that's exciting to me. I like seeing the flags move a lot. You get more standoffs, you get more chases, more clutch returns. It's kind of hard to just D up hard and make that map a stalemate. So I think it plays awesome, and it's a good throwback to older Tribes games.
Do you think Epidemic is going to show us something that we may not expect, as they are and tend to be more of a defensive-oriented team on a map like that? That's not really, as you said, that easy to put up a stalwart defense.
I'm really curious about that. So we did play VeX on that map last night also, and we were actually able to beat them running a 4 defense, but we run a very different 4 defense than what I would expect Epi will run. So I'm curious to see exactly how Epi sets up their D on that map, because it's really hard to see the cappers coming, and I would think that my instinct is that VeX is gonna really like that map and play well on it, but it's hard to know. We'll see what Epi's got up their sleeve.
Alright, we are going live here in 10 seconds. So get hyped, get your popcorn. I hope you guys are enjoying this cast. Again, I'm Fishsticks, joined by Hi-Res Bart and David Bowie. And we are jumping into map number 2. David Bowie, why don't you take us away with the initial strategies? Would you expect both teams to immediately go for each other's generators off the bat?
I think VeX is definitely going to get in there and own the generator of Epi. I don't know if Epi's going to spend the resources to get the VeX gen, but if they can get in there without getting harassed too much, they probably will, because why not just have those turrets out of the action? I think we're going to initially see VeX just run their heavy offense, probably just run 2 guys on D and go super heavy O here, and that's definitely how they like to play this map.
Alright then, taking a look as Tasty Ham is actually doing a pretty conventional side-to-side route here. It doesn't look like, well, Guitar Guy is doing some distraction, but not a very clear flag stand at all, as Tasty Ham will go down and just try to do a little punting action. Again, the VeX generator is now down. The Epi generator is not down. So we'll see what Epi puts on the flag stand in terms of turrets and or force fields. It's actually Blitz who's behind the flag in an infiltrator suit, so it looks like he's hanging out to do a little bit of clearing a little bit instead of
Epi guys are out with this flag and they're moving it pretty well across midfield actually.
Yeah, you got a little bit of cluster play going on here. Convict is the last to have touched it. Line GG going to pick it up as he is sitting at about half health. He's going to get mid-air, though, by Duck Ranger. And Convict's coming in as well. He's going to get picked up by Guitar Guy. We will see the return from that VeX chase. They did a nice job having the guys who were going on offense turn around, pick that up. But Tasty Ham's out on a back to front here. Fishsticks, 200 kilometers an hour through the midfield, getting down to about half health. Duck Ranger, see coming on a bit of a siren. He actually misses that punt, however, and this looks like that's going to be the end of all of that.
No, there's still some VeX guys in the wings here. it's hard to tell who's who is because they're using that jammer outfit, and Hydroxide is now going to walk this thing so slowly back to his base. It's going to take him about 10-15 seconds to get up there, and that's plenty of time for ePi to come try to crash this, although look at VeX, man. They are just surrounding their teammate. This almost looks like we're watching rugby or something. They're just trying to push this flag forward with brute force, and it almost gets the return. I think was Trism GG, Lion GG getting the kill, but will go down. So still a moment here for ePi to try to crash, but VeX is looking to get the first cap on the board here. Will Blitz be able to make it? Yes, he has very little health. Almost goes down, and again, so many close plays there, but VeX will put the first notch in their belt for the map with 1-0.
So something interesting I saw there, both teams actually ran a infiltrator back grab, which in a no mines environment is actually pretty strong. They're both able to get it out and then just start cluster playing. But this is the type of thing VeX wants it to be in the situation. They love slow moving flags where they can get the cluster play going because they have some of the best crash in the game. They're going to be able to definitely get down on the enemy flag if it's moving slow. And if they get their own flag across the mid, they're going to do exactly what you said. They're going to rugby it up. They're going to all hang out on that flag, and they're going to take out the enemies one by one. And so that, if it gets into that type of game, I'm definitely going to give the advantage to VeX.
I've been watching the defense here from VeX a bit, and really impressed with Duck Ranger and Guitar Guy. They are incredibly accurate. I mean, their kind of focus fire is really strong. I mean, David Bodie, is that how they're able to get away with kind of these very kind of lean, I guess you could say, defensive sets around the flag?
So what they rely on the most is intel gathering. So they make sure they find out where that capper is, and then they can just get a stop on him. But I'm going to turn it over because the line is out and back to front again.
Yeah,
YGG. It was just, almost gets it off to Convict, but no dice. That was a little bit of a llama action. Something that actually does make sense on a map like this. You can get the flag going very slowly, and if you can make it across the midfield aqueduct, then you can punt it off to a teammate, pass it off, and shoot it for the little bit of extra distance that the punt gives. It's something we see VeX actually doing all the time, since they do sort of favor that cluster play. And now it looks like, as we see Blitz heading into the Epidemic base, they will be finally taking down this generator almost 5 minutes into the game, which means the turrets will go down. It means that there's no opportunity to grab a strike or put up a force field on the stand. So Epidemic, a lot of what Epidemic does is nerfed by that generator going down.
As you mentioned, Fish, about 5 minutes have elapsed in this game, ladies and gentlemen. That means 20 minutes remaining. We have Comet coming in, trying to set up a back route in the Raider, going to get stopped, however. 20 minutes, 30 seconds remaining here in this match. It is 1 cap to 0 in favor of Vexillifer. This game will end at the end of 25 minutes if one of the teams has a cap advantage, or it is the first to 7 caps. Of course, we will go over the overtime rules if it looks like we're going to get to that point. It is important to note, however, that this is a best-of-3 series, and Vexillifer is up 1-0, so if they are able to get a win here on Arx Novena, they will take this series.
Yeah, and I am kind of hoping that ePi is able to pull it out just because I want to see map 3. I want to see CCR. I want to see what these teams do on that map, and I think it's going to be a great map. But so far, VeX is looking pretty good. Right now, ePi has not been able to really threaten a cap, and VeX is being able to move the flag pretty consistently.
I think
Front to
Blitz,
front to Blitz. Here we go.
I think Fish. I think he went around the map one time.
Yeah.
He came in there going about 320, which. Either that or came out of a strike, but I don't see one on the field. David Bo, do you have any insight on how he's able to get that much speed for that front route?
Yeah, this is a route that Blitz is starting. Blitz is kind of always known for doing these front-to-back routes on this map, so they call them the front-to-blitz, like Fishstick said. Now, there's another version of it where you set up, as you say, you kind of go all the way around the map, and you get extra speed, and that's exactly what he did. And it makes it pretty hard to stop, and it means that you actually have a good return route, unlike normal.
Wow, look at that. Blitz pulling out all the stops, ladies and gentlemen. A 2-0 advantage now for Vexillifer in flag caps. Looking pretty strong. Their flag does come off the stand, but it's going to be cleaned up, no problem. And an exciting game so far.
And the front-to-back routes are not generally favorable in the game of Tribes compared to a side-to-side or a back route because that return home takes so long. But Blitz just trying to throw a wrench in the concept of the offense for VeX. Now he might switch to a normal standard side-to-side or back to front. But just throwing that front to back in every once in a while does a lot to confuse the defense. It does a lot to just shake up their conception of where you might be coming from at any given time. But Convict now on a back route for Team ePi. Let's see, it's only Duck Ranger on the stand. Gets a nice body block. well executed body block.
Now, Epi's actually doing something real smart here. It almost worked. What they did was, so Hot Rod was actually out there camping the routes, which is awesome, and he was able to spot the first capper, but he didn't see the second capper. And so Lion GG came in, and they didn't. I don't think they really saw him coming. And so the double cap swap, just like it worked on the last map, it almost worked. And now they're actually clustering it across mid.
Yeah, we saw Tasty Ham get that flag out here now for VeX. He's going to pass Convict. They're taking some pot shots at each other. He doesn't have a terrible amount of speed. He's actually going to elect to use a thrust there. He's going to take the rest of his energy. He's punting over, but Duck Ranger is having some trouble picking this up. The crash from Trism is getting it cleaned up. One by Duck Ranger, but the return is going to get in time. But Blue Jay's going to keep this flag moving on the other side, and it looks like we'll see our flags reset as Convict gets his routes set back up.
Yeah, we had actually great returns on both sides. Hot Rod came in and it basically killed him, got an instant return. And on the other side, I think one of the GG bros, maybe Lion, was able to do the same thing and stop Tasty. So a couple great returns there, one for each team.
And nice returns will lead to a bit of a lull in the actions. As both teams are
here comes
setting up.
Convict.
Here comes Convict coming in all alone, but still able to get that back cap with not a single bit of damage taken off of his health just yet. So Guitar Guy opts to grab the flag off the stand just to prevent that cap, to buy his team a little bit more time. Guitar Guy
For the pass
somehow
to
still has tons of health, but he's got two VeX guys, or excuse me, Epidemic guys on him. So Guitar Guy, not long for this world. Can VeX crash the stand? Convict looking to get the cap here. Down goes the flag. Source and Muji are going to try to continue this flag grab, but VeX is all over it, still bumbling in the flag in the field here. Blitz, Tasty Ham, Hydroxide all in a position to grab it, but no, it's Lion GG with the clutch move, able to continue this grab. Now it's Convict, almost tried to pass it off to Muji there, instead actually just punting it up there to buy even a little bit more time, and they held on to that. Even though there was tons of VeX guys crashing, they stayed calm under pressure and made the right plays.
They have their
Here
flag
we're going
ready
to see
for
the
return.
VeX crash here, and we're going to see if they can stop this cap.
Oh my god, Tasty Ham comes in, he's going to get the kill, picks it up out of the air, the flag is off the stand, Blitz has crashed as well, Immune coming in, Hydroxide coming in, this flag has gone home, and Guitar Guy may take it off the front to back here. What a play by VeX. David Bowie with the great spot of that crash coming in. It looked like a sure thing for Epidemic, but taken right out of their hands, and now VeX threatening to go up another cap in this game.
It is never a sure thing when you're against VeX, especially on a map this small. They are just the best team in the game at getting all their guys downfield, and that's what you saw there. And Epi actually played fantastically to get so close. VeX really should have had their turn earlier, but the Epi guys kept getting great clutch kills. They even punted the flag around. They kept it out of the VeX hands, and they really handled it great until the very end. They let a low health guy try to take it into the flag. They weren't quite patient enough, and that VeX crash just came in and was able to get their turn.
Yeah, Epidemic, I did want to highlight something in that kind of standoff situation there, or where that crash was coming in. They had the flag. They moved it back towards their spawn there near the vehicle pad to secure it better, but Blitz has picked up this flag going really, really fast. You gotta wonder, is this another one of the circus routes where he's set up in some strange way? But Duck Ranger's gonna get a nice pickup out of the air. He's tried to punt it up, but it's not going to be enough impulse to get it up to the base, forcing GG to come off the stand. Now that's gonna be knocked out by Mystical Rush as he comes in. Convict has a route set up though. They gotta be careful not to let this come out. I think he bounced. He's gonna be forced to llama this.
So VeX focusing a lot on keeping the enemy flag at home, not focusing on their own flag enough. Actually, just as I say that, Tasty Him gets another clutch kill and return there. So now Epi has to crash the stand, almost gets the Nitron, but no dice, as the score is now padded 3-0 on Arcs. And VeX is up one map here in this best of 3, so now the pressure is on Epidemic. If they want to keep their tournament life alive, if they want to push for those extra seeding points, they've got to make a whole lot of caps happen with just about half of the map remaining.
Yeah, and huge plays coming out again for VeX, and like I was saying earlier, they love that kind of situation. When the flags are just moving, bouncing around, that's where they excel. They're so great at passing the flag. They're great at crashing downfield. They're great at getting clutch nitrons. And Epi almost had their return. They just couldn't quite get it. And it's kind of like a game of inches right now. But the points are still stacking up for VeX because they're winning these very close battles and just able to squeak out some caps.
Convict is setting up a very, very big soldier route here. Up very high. It looks like he has been spotted out. Quite a bit of defense there. Yes, Immune taking shots at him. So I don't see Trism coming in on a second route at this point, and he's going to have a strike on him as well. If Convict gets out with this flag, it's all due to Trism on that clear, but no, he's going to get body blocked by Duck Ranger, who has really been a beast in this Pathfinder kit. Him and GG holding on this defense just time and time again.
The
Hot
missed
Rod is
body
amazing
block.
there. Basically, Duck Ranger just normally actually plays Sniper. He was kind of one of the original guys when VeX was running this two-man D. Him and Implosions were holding it down, and today, you're seeing him swap into Path, and he's always been a good Path. He used to actually switch into it from Sniper and go in there and make plays, and he's showing that he's comfortable just playing in that position all game, and he got a great body block there.
I'm sensing shenanigans as we do see Hydroxide setting up behind the Epi flag with a strike. Maybe not opting for the strike grab. I thought we might see something there. I think we still might. He's obviously communicating with his team to try to do some sort of crash here, but as I say that, I actually glance over at the VeX side of the map, and I see pretty much everyone on their team sitting at home at the moment. So Tasty Ham setting up his route all the way in the corner, I guess. Yeah, finally starting to set up his route. So no cappers really coming in for VeX anytime soon. It's Epi that's able to get the flag off the stand, but not all that much action. Duck Ranger shuts down yet another Epi capper. Now it's up to Convict. Can Convict get the bullets, get the kill on Duck Ranger here, and move this flag across midfield? Let's see. Yes, Convict now solo moving this flag across the midfield, but Blitz is right on him, missing the first Nitron, hitting the second. Now that flag is definitely in contention. Guitar Guy, Blitz, Hot Rod, and now Tasty Ham coming in for the cap. He's in the soldier outfit, full health, but body blocked on the stand, although he did not take all that much damage.
Yeah, he will punt now. Bouncing around in the midfield is this flag. It has stuttered to a stop. Moog has come off the stand, and there is your return. The cappers are going to be setting back up. It looks like perhaps even Guitar Guy going to run around here, David Bowie. What do you think about this?
This is something VeX is known for. They got a lot of guys in their team that can run cap routes, and so what they like to do is every now and then they'll run 2 or even 3 cappers, and they'll kind of, hope that the other team gets in kind of a lull rhythm. They stop the capper that they know is always capping, and then they just think that that's it. And then this other guy comes in out of the blue and gets a cap.
It's going to be an imp pickup here for Tasty Ham. He's going to get this flag off the stand. You got to look for that GG on the Echo route as he comes around. Tasty Ham probably going to be looking for this pass. No, it looks like it's actually just going to be insurance. This was not set up to be a pass, and Tasty Ham is going to get home unless he gets sniped or fragged out here. No, it's going to be a 4th cap now for VeX.
And
the answer
this
grab
is not good.
Oh, it's going to be the regrab from Guitar Guy. Here it comes off the stand. Only move to stop him. He gets a partial body block. It does some nice damage. And it looks like Guitar Guy will get cleaned up. But how dangerous is that for Epidemic? They are able to pick up that immediate regrab attempt from VeX.
Yeah, that was a great move. So what VeX is thinking there is, even if they stop Tasty, then they've got Guitar Guy coming in. A lot of times people will quickly return the flag to try to keep it from moving, and then the next guy just grabs it right away. And what you saw is they almost got a 2-for-1 deal there.
And that flag actually just bounced across the top of the aqueduct. Nice favorable bounce for VeX as it's now in their home turf. Hot Rod RE. RR. I thought it used to be Hot Rod Re, but I don't know. Anyway, Duck Ranger Hydroxide is trying to hold on this flag. Blitz is there as well. Mystical Rush does go down. Lion GG is still an opportunity to do some damage. Flag continues to get Nitron out of the hands. There's still enough time for Epidemic to come crash. Let's see what they can do. We've got Blue Jay, we've got Convict, Mystical Rush, Source, all making a move towards this. And taking a look at the back cap, Convict tries to get that back cap, but unable to do so. And there's a return. Epi's got to be
Trism on that back route.
A sigh of relief. Now Trism has a chance to get the first cap of the map here for Epidemic. They've got a huge mountain to climb.
Guitar Guy's got it on the other side, man.
1 cap at a time.
We got a standoff coming out. Guitar Guy got that one out as well. As Trism came in, that crash was coming in. He had a nice back route set up. Was able to actually get in there, did a good job, kind of evaluating that situation, I think you can say, and saying, you know what, I should continue my route here and not cut this off and go for the crash. Had faith in his offense, and now we are in a standoff situation, but Tasty Ham and Duck Ranger, the twin infiltrators, are here. Hot Rod Red as well is coming in with that sleight of hand.
Did you guys see that? Oh my god. Trism was just sitting there with the flag half health. He was very hesitant to pass it off to a teammate for like a good 20 seconds there. He could have passed it off, but all of a sudden decides to pass off, and there's an infiltrator right in front of his pass.
David, what have you seen here in this early setup of the standoff? We saw those early infiltrators come in, make their first pass, and now the teams are going to settle into something maybe a little bit more coordinated. What do you expect to see here, and what do you think about what they've done so far?
So something VeX is really good at doing is they very, very quickly get their standoff O together. Before the flag was even fully home, they already had 4 guys that are able to get a run in before ePi could ever hope to do it. And VeX is pretty good at standoff, so I would give them a good chance at this. And as I say that, I see the flag's already down.
Duck closing in on it. Source is trying to pick it back up. Taseham's gonna get this return. No, he overshoots it. Mr. Rhodes gets that flag. Duck Ranger falls to the ground, running in. There is the return on the other side. Is this flag going to get capped? Line GG is crashing. Moog is there as well on the Aqueduct. GG going to get this out the back. And VeX has to secure their flag carrier before they can go for it. A big snipe by Immune there is going to get this flag down. And will Guitar Guy move towards the stand? He will. Blue Jay coming in on that crash source here as well. Mystical Rush going for the flag pickup out of the field. It looks like trying to threaten that, maybe force an earlier return than they want. If they're able to pick up Source, Convict coming in. Mystical Rush as well. Guitar Guy has to move up towards the stand. Convict is there. They frag him out. There is the return, but the flag gonna get returned by Mystical Rush. What a play! An individual real acceleration there by Mystical Rush brings them into this game, keeps them alive. 4 caps. They are down 7.5 minutes remaining. What do they need to do to get back into this game, Fish Sticks?
Yeah, wow. Again, these returns are just absolutely ridiculous. In comes Hydroxide to try to do a little bit of clear here, but he's all by himself. I don't see any of the cappers for VeX coming out, so the pressure is on ePi to make something happen here, so let's see what they can do. Again, now they have a Shrike in the air, and we've seen Blue Jay just doing so much damage with the Shrike. Right now, he's actually using the Shrike defensively, but with so little time left, I'd like to see him move onto the offensive here and try to help his team clear that flag stand and get that flag home. So Guitar Guy now on a back route, but it's been spotted by pretty much everyone. Over on the other side of the map, we've got Lion GG and the Trism GG, the GG brothers, trying to set up routes here, but it's actually Lion.
Picked up Tastyham. Tastyham coming on a back route here. He's going to get the Diamond Sword flag out. This is for VeX. He's going very fast through the midfield, 300 kilometers an hour as he goes under the Aqueduct. Just needs to hit this bowl and turn towards his flag stand. Lion GG, the only one there. Trism coming on the back route. He will get it out. So very close timing there from ePi. If Lion is somehow able to get this frag and the return, he'll be a beast, but no Immune going to snipe out. Mr. Rush does get that flag knocked off. Moog crashing in as well. The Shrike picks up another kill. They're going to get this return. Huge, huge plays by LL Blue Jay, and this is going to result in their first cap of the game. Trism barely missing the stand. He cleans up Duck Ranger and Blitz like I make it in time, 1-4.
Oh, but Blitz was on the back route, and he's going to be home so fast here. But Blue Jay also on a back cap. Was that a Shrike grab? I'm assuming it was. Now Blue Jay moving across the midfield, and we're moving off to a standoff. 6 minutes remain. ePi has 3 caps to make up to send this into overtime. Let's see if they can do it as time ticks down. Now, David Bowie, as we're in the standoff position, actually, I'm going to just look at the action. There's so much action.
Convict is closing in on him with Mystical Rush and Moog. We've seen Mystical Rush be big in these standoff situations. Can he get the Nitron onto Blitz? He has the angle here now. They're going to get the frag. He is dropping around the flag, bouncing. There's the return from Mystical Rush. They're crashing the stand now back to try to set up their defense. Hydroxide going to take it off in the Llama Fish Sticks. And the follow-up coming through the midfield is going to try to punt this Mystical Rush on it again.
All right, Mystical Rush probably should be able to get this return. Can he? Yes, he can. And there's the second cap. And if I had Shazbucks to bet right now, I would bet them on Epidemic pulling this to a 3rd map, because these 2 teams, they always take it to 3 maps. No matter what is happening, no matter what the scoreline is. We've seen so many comebacks, so many consecutive caps, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now from Epidemic. If they keep it up at this rate, they will equalize that 4 cap scoreline and pull this into overtime.
Absolutely, Fish Sticks. And I wanted to pass this thing off to David Bowie and get your thoughts here. Now we have a little bit of the role reversal as Epidemic is going to be forced to play a heavy offensive style, but VeX is not looking like they're going to relent on the offense at all. How do you think they're going to be able to bring this one back together and maybe eke out a win here, David?
So, I was really worried for ePi when I saw, it was basically down 4-0 and it was about to go into a standoff. That was not a situation that they want to be in, because VeX at that time can kind of play a little more defensive in the standoff, just run the clock down with only 4 minutes left. That's not a lot of time. But now, if they've got the 2 caps, now, this game is not over. It's not even close to over unless VeX gets another cap, because pretty much all ePi has to do is, even within 30 seconds left in the game, they can just grab the flag, cap it, and then grab the flag again just before the time runs out, and it's still going to go into overtime.
That's right. Our overtime rules do state that if the flag is off the stand and the game is within 1, and the team that, of course, is down has the flag off the stand, the game will not end. We'll move into overtime. But Blitz has picked this flag up on a front-to-back route. I believe this was the double looping one that comes with extra speed. Convict is coming in on that VeX flag stand from behind on that back route as well. Blitz looks like he is about 7 to 10 seconds out. Comet coming across. Will they stop him? No. He is going to get this out, and he's going to get home clean with that kind of speed up and over the aqueduct without touching. And we will move into a standoff. Of course, this does favor VeX, but they are not going to stop sending that offense.
Yeah, ePi has to win the standoff basically because, and if the clock runs in 3 minutes, this game is over because VeX is up by 2. So, at some point, ePi's going to have to send a strong offense because they absolutely have to win the standoff.
Wow, that flat Nitron out, and oh my, that is an absolutely massive play for VeX. Getting the 5th cap on the board and putting ePi in a very, very uncomfortable position, guys. It's got to come down to this right here, right now. And now the ePi flag is making it all the way across midfield. But Mystical Rush with the clutch. This guy has been such an important player for ePi. Every single time we see these two teams clash, in fact, every player is extremely important with this high caliber of a match. But you do tend to see a lot of awesome stuff from that LD chase position. Now it's the Lion GG who's trying to set up a little bit of clear/distraction for his team. And now I think VeX is finally deciding to put at least one more person on defense. Hot Rod I don't know why it's so hard for me to say that, but they've got 4 guys on the stand, so they're finally deciding, hey, maybe it makes a little bit of sense for us to stack the defense. And ePi looking to go down in 2 maps here at this point in time, which is
Fish,
something we have not seen.
Let me real quick toss this over to David Bowie. Bowie, could you take us through like some of the math here of what we're looking at, like how many more opportunities Epidemic really has to get this flag off the stand and still have time to get that next couple of regrabs? I mean, they're getting really close to being mathematically out of this.
Yep, so that's what I was going to say. Basically, that last run, one of the cappers missed the route, and what has to happen now is they have to cap on every run. If they don't get this one right here, they basically have 2 shots total in which they have to cap on both of them and then be able to get a grab at the last second. So essentially if they don't get this next run out, it's pretty much mathematically impossible for them to come back. And I think VeX is just going to stack a little harder on D now because they know that.
And you see the force field started coming out as well. Trism's tried to go for the cluster style here, bringing out in that heavy, that brute cap. The flag is going to actually get capped again here, and that is going to basically be the nail in the coffin. They are out by the math, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be Vexilifer taking the first place here in the qualifier for the NATL Pro League Season 2. They will get, I believe it is the 4th place seed, if I'm not mistaken, and ePi will be forced to play it from that 5th seeded position, and they, of course, also have to go home and go over this tape knowing that they lost yet another series to VeX in a very, very back-and-forth rivalry that we have brewing now in competitive Tribes Ascend, Fish.
And that's right. This is the VeX without implosions. A player that I certainly thought was extremely integral to their strategy, to their 2-defender strategy. But Duck Ranger doing absolutely massive work. Their new pickup Immune sniping for them, doing fantastic work. Lion GG looking for a moral victory here, getting that flag up to the stand, but unable to get it into the hands of a teammate as the final seconds tick down here on Arx Novena. Second map in this best of 3 will indeed, in the end, go to VeX. Let's see if Guitar Guy can get this final cap for his team. Where is his flag? It's
Trism's got it. He's moving to the midfield, and we're just going to have some high fives here from the guys as they all come in and shoot some discs at each other, throw some frisbees, and there it is, officially over. Ladies and gentlemen, VeX will take it. David Bowie, what do you think about those games we just saw? What do you think Epidemic maybe could have done to eke this one out?
Well, I gotta wonder if the rules did hurt them some because they normally like running, more mines, a couple more force fields, more turrets, and it's really hard for them to get the kind of defensive setup that they want. But actually now we've got Guitar Guy here from VeX, and hopefully we'll get some ePi guys in too, and we can actually hear what they have to think about it.
Very well, Guitar Guy. State your business, what team you play for, your position, and talk about your victory, sir. Congratulations.
Well, I guess that explains what team I'm on. Yeah, I'm on VeX. I play the light offensive role pretty badly, but I do it. And yeah, intense games. I think we could have really performed a lot better. Really unfortunate that we had this many people watching and it wasn't that great of a show, but good games to ePi. And yeah, they were intense.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get some ePi guys in there.
I'm just
Fish, you want
glad
to
we
start us out
won.
with the questions, or Bowie, or do you want to wait till
You guys
the
can
gentleman-
take it
Alright,
away. I'll try to
my
get the guys in here.
My first question, Guitar Guy, are you making another montage from this? No, I don't know. Great games, entertaining nonetheless. Let's start off with a question about maps. I actually enjoyed watching Blue Shift quite a bit. How do you feel that map stacks up for competitive play? It looked to be pretty entertaining today.
Yeah, I mean, the conduits really allow the offense to easily time with their cappers. We were having a lot of trouble stopping the cap, so Trism, GG, and Convict just, even if we spotted them, for some reason we just couldn't stop them. Maybe just we need some more practice on that, and hopefully Immune will come back to his Tau days one of these days and be a very dominant sniper. But fortunately, that day wasn't today. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think it's a pretty fun map. Had a lot of fun, timing the clears. It just we practiced it today, and that was about it. So we need to definitely practice that map more before we have a better idea of how it'll work in comp. But I enjoy it.
Yeah, no, so, Arcs, clearly, you guys are much more dominant on that map today than you have been in all the past times we've seen you play Epi. Do you think that's a result of the new rules or some strategic changes? What made the difference today?
Oh, easily the rules. I mean, we can actually get into the gen room and take out the gens and kind of make them play our game opposed to us playing theirs. So the rule set definitely helped out a lot with that. Now, I mean, I don't know. I enjoy the rule set. We just left TWL today because we're just done with the TWL rule set, and we're really enjoying these gym rule sets. And hopefully, a lot of other teams are as well, because I think it makes the game a lot more exciting to play and watch. And it's not just, something like we saw last night. I mean, sure, like a few minutes were intense, but most of it is just us banging our heads against a freaking rock in a hard place.
Yeah, well, definitely plenty of flag movement today. I think these rules are great for that, and definitely kind of plays into the style of play that you all prefer.
Yeah, I also want to give kudos to Epi because they really proved that they can play without the robots, as people would say. They gave us a tough fight, and it's also we have to give them credit for the fact that it's something that they usually don't play, and probably have just started practicing here for the NA tribes. And they did a great job. They really they did a lot of killing on us, and it was still frustrating to go up against Epi without all the robots. So I guess it is true they can play without that, and it was a good game.
And as we say that, we're joined now by LL Blue Jay from Epidemic. Blue Jay, those are some great games. That first one especially, it looked like you guys might come back and win it. How did you all feel about it?
First map, we felt like we definitely, should have and could have won that. We felt like on some of the standoffs we didn't really execute like we wanted to, so that kind of turned out at the end. And then they had one really, really big return with the imp on stand, which is my fault for not disking. That's rule number one. So, but it was really good games, man. It was really close. So yeah, props to them for putting on a good show.
And we got Lion GG in here now as well. Lion, what did you think of the games?
It's actually Trism GG.
Oh, sorry, Trism, yeah. GG bros get it mixed up all the time.
Yeah, I thought the games were pretty good. We definitely made mistakes. They were, it was our fault, but I think we can fix everything. And yeah, I had fun tonight. They were fun.
All right, Fisher Bart, did you have any questions for these? Or Guitar Guy, go ahead and add what you want to add.
I was gonna give props to Convict for that last second return as well. You guys had a mean one on us where Casey was literally on top of that flag and he got it home. I mean, I was just telling him, a lot of people give you guys crap and stuff, me included, and I know that I've made poor remarks toward you guys, but you guys really played well, and we, I mean, like Hot Rod was saying in the beginning interview, we were expecting 7-0, but they proved that they can play the game with these NA Tribes rules.
Yeah, one thing that I wanted to mention and get Hot Rod's opinion on, or I'm sorry, Blue Jay's opinion on. We saw you. I caught it. I'm not sure if we had cameras on it at the time, but you cleaned up, I think, 3 chasers on one of those standoffs with the Shrike. I believe it was on Arcs. Individual plays like that in the Shrike. I mean, how do you, right place, right time? Is that coordination? Are you just that good with the Shrike? What led to that happening, man?
Well, I definitely put in a lot of time working on my striking and stuff, and that's a big part of our game plan. Like when we get the strike up, we definitely want to, take advantage of it because it is just such a good tool in the game. So, yeah, I just try to take advantage and help them out in any way. I help my team out in any way I could when I, on the standoffs and stuff. Because I mean, those strikes are deadly in standoffs and in chase. I mean, because you got guys just flying everywhere, so you can definitely mow them down and everything.
Right. So no, before I forget about it, I do want to make sure everyone knows, so in addition to myself, Barton Fishsticks tonight, a lot of what, this cast was all about is we had Dodgepong running the production. So he's doing the instant replays, swapping between different cameras, and he kind of made this whole thing happen. And then Brick was on camera tonight with Legit Bear, followed by Pragmalice. Legit Bear's having some lag issues, had to swap out. Want to give big props to those guys because a lot of, how good the spectating experience comes down to how good your cameramen are and the production value. So big props to those guys. As for the next question, you guys are going into the Pro League now. You're both in, and right now, the three top seeded teams in that tournament are Mono, Ego, and ZFC. You guys have put up great games against all those teams. Recently, how do you feel about going up against those teams in the Pro League?
I guess I'll take that. I mean, I feel that there's a lot of stuff VeX we need to work on. We really need to get the new guys that we've recently added to the roster. We need to get everything rolling. Need to get everything flowing correctly. But it's going to be a game no matter what. I can't say I feel like we're going to beat them every single time, but I feel that we'll be putting up good games like tonight's game, and we're going to go as hard as we have to in order to win. It's a big tournament for us, and this is kind of like almost a Cinderella story, it feels, because VeX is just, we've kind of built up a good roster and kind of came back from what VeX has been in the past, more of a top 10 team. Now we're definitely can be considered the top 5, and we worked hard for it, and we're going to keep on working hard.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, VeX is absolutely come back. They were a team that was always pretty solid, but never one that was considered a top contender. And now you guys took number 1 on TWL. You're definitely a top contender. And same story for Epidemic, actually. You guys came from being kind of a team that was always pretty good, but now you guys have gotten really good. You've also had your time at number 1 on TWL. How do you guys feel about going up against those other teams in the Pro League?
I'll let Trism take it.
Yeah, I mean, we always feel confident against any team. We don't feel like any team has the ability to 7-0 us on any map. That's never going to happen. We're always going to give it a fighting chance. So, yep.
Great. So we should hopefully see a lot of good games going into the gym fight. Bart Fishsticks, do you guys have anything else before we cut it off here?
I want to say, yeah, I mean, great game to both the teams, obviously. Guitar Guy, I saw some big plays coming out of you, man. There's some of that stand chaining going on between you and what the heck is the guy's name? Now I've already forgotten.
Probably Mystical Rush.
No, Mystical Rush is a beast.
Ryan GG.
No. Oh, Guitar Guy. I'm sorry. With you and it was your other light defender.
Oh, it must
help
be
me out
either
here.
Duck Ranger?
Duck Ranger, yes. Guitar Guy and Duck Ranger. There we go. Saw some like really nice focus fire from you. How do you guys spot out cappers, and how do you coordinate what target you're hitting? Are you prioritizing them like the A capper, B capper, or it's like, I guess talk us through that exchange.
It's just something that we kind of, once we see someone, we just say focus him down. Like, there's really, in my mind at least, there's no priority list or anything like that. It's just you mark the person that you see and then take them down and work on the next one, and just keep an eye on their flag, make sure it doesn't get returned. But it's definitely a lot of communication, a lot of good communication between all the players, always letting people know, who's crashing in and who's low. And it's usually just a good teamwork, calling out just either with spotting in the game or on comms, just saying, need to take this guy out. And yeah.
Right on. Fish, you got anything?
Nothing in particular. Just happy to cast Tribes again and enjoy some good games.
I've got a question for VeX. Why'd you guys leave TWL when Mono challenged you guys? You guys doing a little dodging or what's up?
Shots fired.
I'll bring it back. I mean, basically what happened is we went through and we said that, Mono, we'll play you guys, but we want to play NA Tribes rules. We want to start working NA Tribes because we really, obviously, we're trying to come up with a rule set that everything can kind of play, because it's kind of annoying, practicing for TWL and NA Tribes, and I think everyone prefers NA Tribes over TWL as far as what's on the line, and essentially, they agreed to those terms, and we said, okay, well, we don't want to play, so because I think it really, TWL, we want to get off of it. It's not a good ladder, hasn't been for a long time, and I mean, even on Tuesday when we played ePi, like all the new stuff was banned, and that really hurt us against turrets and stuff, and we feel this kind of stuff it should be resolved quicker, and with hopefully a move to Game Shrine, then we can have people that are actually involved in the community, that are admins and everything, and have a unbiased opinion, and take the suggestions of the competition, seeing all the teams, and kind of come up with a good rule set everyone can enjoy and play, and just resolve things when they come up, especially with patches coming out, different things that are going through and being whatever it's called. What's that word when you change stuff?
Modifications? I don't know.
Iterations?
Those are good words. That's not what I'm looking for.
Adaptation, perhaps?
Balance changes. There we go.
Boom.
I'm an idiot, sorry.
A little Scrabble going on here.
Yeah, I'd like to see all the the captains actually come together and have another kind of tribal council kind of thing, because I know a lot of the top 10, top 15 teams don't really have a say in a whole lot, and I know they actually have opinions themselves, and a lot of times they're ignored, so I'd like to actually listen to everybody's opinion,
Yep.
Yeah, well, Dodgepong taking over TWL means that he was going to be able to get that feedback going, but I think the ultimate idea was to possibly transition over to NA Tribes or Game Shrine. He's going to try to help make that happen. But yeah, moving forward, I just want to make sure everyone knows before people take off that this stuff's going to be picking back up on Monday. Next Monday through Thursday, there will be more NATL, this time in the Pro League. It will be cast, I think, every night. Probably the next Dodge cast with, all multiple cameras and all that's going to be next Thursday. But tune in, Monday through Thursday to see more good Tribes games.
And I gotta ask, while we still have everyone on, I was looking like an idiot on Reddit because I was very, very confused as to what Implosions is doing. We saw him very, very effective for VeX in the past. Where was Implosions, and what team is he playing for?
So he was playing for Exica, which was his old team in this tournament.
The Dark Horse.
So he was I think technically he could have still played for VeX if he was to get back on the roster, because I don't think he ever played a match which would have locked him into the Exica roster, but for whatever reason, that hasn't happened. A couple more other things I want to mention before we head out here. There's going to be the draft tomorrow, because there is there's the House League, which is kind of the companion to the Pro League. So top 8 teams are in the Pro League, everyone else is in the House League, and there's also the option for people to sign up as an individual player for the draft league. So you can either create a team with your buddies and enter in, or you can just sign up on your own, and there's going to be a draft tomorrow. So everyone should sign up for that. There's going to be some in-game prizes coming out of that tournament, and the top 2 teams will have a shot at going into the Pro League the next time around. Just head over to natribes.com and get signed up there for that. So it's definitely going to be interesting. If people want to watch the draft tomorrow, afterwards there's going to be the group picks for the Pro League, so should be a good show. Again, these games will be casted for all of next week. I believe Helmar is going to be going every Monday. His stream is, I think it's HELE_TCM. And then you've got, of course, Dodgepong on Thursday, and there'll be other guys casting on Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's going to be a great tournament to watch, and hopefully everyone will get involved. Don't be shy. Go sign up on natribes.com and get in the action.
Thank you very much, Bowie. And gentlemen, do we have any from the players, any final shout-outs before we let you go and we wrap this bad boy up?
Yeah, shout out to Alakaban, Righteous Oxide, Mortmay, and Kryoff. They weren't playing tonight, but they're always in our hearts. Thanks to the casters, Blue Jay, for being a great captain, and all the Team Epi members, and our sponsor, Deadly Servers. So thanks.
Yeah.
I want to say one thing too. Mono, we just challenged you on TWL. We want our spot back. We're coming.
And we're not
Shots
afraid.
fired.
We're not afraid.
Alrighty, well that is going to do it for us, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Your casters were, of course, High Res Bart. That's me, Fishsticks. That is Fishsticks, and David Bowie. I believe you can find all of us on Twitter by putting an @ in front of that name. David, is that correct?
You're probably gonna find somewhere else, man, if you put that on Twitter. But I do have a
You're
YouTube
not.
channel.
You're not the guy who does the songs in the '80s.
Believe it or not.
Oh. Oh well, I wouldn't have been so nice to you.
So
But you can check
disappointed
out.
now.
I do have a channel, Tribes David Bowie, on YouTube and Twitch. I do have some casts on there and some old route videos if anyone's just getting into capping.
There you go, guys. And yeah, those are great videos. I believe they're in the Tribes client as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. As you heard, coverage will continue next week, starting Monday through Thursday. Be sure to follow Hi-Res APC on Twitter for the information about how to watch these, or follow the Tribes Ascend channel here, and of course, you will get an email when we go live. So for our production team, of course, today, which was headed by Dodgepong, all of the cameramen, LB, Pragmalice, Brick, and all of the casters, myself, everyone at Hi-Res Studios, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We love you, and we will see you again starting next week for more Tribes action. Dodgepong, it's all you, man. Great job today, and have a wonderful evening, viewers.